I'm going to show you how easy it is to make hamburger buns. The first thing you want to do is get your water. Your water has to be between 105 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you want to add your yeast and something sweet. It could be molasses, it could be honey, it could be brown sugar, it could be cane sugar. You need something sweet because the sugar feeds the yeast. So you want to mix that up and make sure it's well mixed together, and then you want to just let it sit. I'm using active yeast. If you use instant yeast, I do it the same way because I don't want to put everything in the bowl and my instant yeast is dead or my water temperature is not right. So I do it the same way. This is what your yeast should look like before you start to go to the next step, right? Now my yeast is alive. You see it growing. You see it becoming foamy, right? That's what you want. And then you add your oil. Once you add your oil, you can add a little bit more sweetener if you like I did, or just let it sit for a minute. And while that's sitting, I'm going to get my flour ready. So I put my flour in a bowl and I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So right now in the bowl, we should have flour, salt, water, yeast, oil, and sugar, right? So you put it in the bowl, you put it in your mixer if you have a mixer, or you mix it by hand. And once you're done mixing, it should look something like this. It may still be a little sticky to the touch, and that's okay. You add a little bit of flour. Always add a little flour at a time. Now you're going to start kneading the dough, and kneading is just folding and pushing it over with the heel of your hand. Not quite the palm, but the heel of your hand. And if you're kneading by hand, you want to knead for about maybe 10 minutes. And if you knead it in your mixer, you probably need it about maybe 5 minutes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to separate this into two balls. I'm going to add a little oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil. You can use whatever oil you like, avocado oil, whatever oil you like. I've used it. And now I'm going to cover the dough with oil because as it rises, you don't want it to stick to the bowl, and you want to cover it up because you don't want it to develop like this little skin that develops on it. I'm doing the same thing to my other dough. I'm going to put oil on it, and I'm going to cover it up in plastic wrap. Now you want to put it in a warm spot, either in your oven, just with the oven off, either in your oven or just a warm spot in your home. And once you do that, the dough is going to rise. As you saw, the dough doubled in size. So that's what we want. So now after the first rise, we're going to separate it into our buns, and what I'm doing here. Now what I like to do when I make hamburger buns, I like to separate all my dough first, as you see here, and I put it in a bowl and I'll keep it covered. If you don't do this very fast, I would say put them in a bowl and then cover them up and work with one piece of dough at a time. But I've done this enough, I can get it done pretty fast. So now, to me, if I want uniform buns. If you don't care that much about it, you can just skip that step and do it by hand. So now I'm adding a little bit of flour because my dough is kind of sticky, and I'm folding. You see, I'm folding it in. Right, I'm folding both sides of the dough in, and then I'm taking the bottom where I folded it in, and I'm going to twist it together, and then I'm going to palm it on both sides as you see here and slide it to myself, turning the dough slightly because I want the bottom closed and I want a smooth ball. And I hope that makes sense. If not, rewind it back. Now, here's my dough. This is before the second rise. So this is the first rise. I've just put them on a pan. I'm going to put them back in a warm spot again for them to rise a second time. They should double in size. This is after the second rise. So they've doubled in size. Now, maybe depending on the heat of your house, maybe 30 or 40 minutes, an hour tops for me. So it depends on the heat in your house, right? So now I'm getting ready to put them in the oven. I make these all the time, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't do anything special to them. I don't put the egg white on top and all of that stuff. But if I was making them for an occasion or for somebody else, I would do all of that. But we make these so much and they go so fast, I don't even do all of the extra stuff. So now I heat my oven at 350 degrees. I take the plastic off. Please don't put it in the oven with the plastic still on it. Heat my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to put my buns in there. Start looking at them. First of all, you'll smell them. Your house is going to smell amazing. But you'll start to smell them at around 17, 18 minutes. Now, the way I know mine are done is the top is a little not just golden, but I want to try to explain it. I'll knock on it and it sounds hollow. That's how I know they're done. I don't any other way. I don't know. That's the only way I can I can explain it. I just tap on it with my finger and it sounds hollow in the middle and I know it's done. That's how I know. I like to put butter on mine right after they come out of the oven while they're hot. I melt some butter and I just brush it on top, and then I remove them from the pan and the parchment paper and put it on like a little bread cooling rack, because you don't want the moisture to stay trapped under the bottom of the bread. It's going to make your bread soggy. I hope that makes sense. It's going to make your bread soggy. So, and once I do that, they're ready to be used for burgers, for sloppy joes. Now, if you want to make them a different size, you can. This is what a 4-ounce raw dough looks like. If they're too big for you, you can make them smaller, 3 ounces, because remember, your buns are going to double in size. So whatever size you have, they're going to double in size. So that's a way for you to gauge if you want a smaller hamburger bun or not. I like to add butter. You can add sesame seeds. Some people do the egg whites when they put it in the oven, before they put it in the oven. I don't do that. This way has just always worked for me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.